Well, my idea for the shirt was after we watched The Joker and we were walking back to the house. And then this was after all the news going on, kicking off about how the NBA had deleted or pressured Daryl Morey to delete his tweet supporting Hong Kong. And they had overseas trips and everything, and the whole commotion about we're overseas having exhibition games in China because it's a huge market and we want to get into China. And they were eventually virtually silencing Daryl Morey and his opinion, right? And so that's an American company that enjoys the liberties and freedoms and establishment here in the US, has become very wealthy from doing that. And then you would expect reasonably that they would be standing up for American values and freedoms and liberties and trying to propagate that around the world so other people can be free, right? That's not what we were saying. So it just aggravated me to no end, and I had been stewing on it for days. And we saw The Joker, and you know the theme of The Joker is he had enough. He kind of had enough. And so after we saw the movie...
But we believe in nonviolent protests, to be clear.
Nonviolent protests. We're not going to show up to any TV shows.
Although De Niro sort of had it coming, I
He was kind of a prick.
Yeah. Can I say that on camera? I just did, yeah.
So we had just seen that, and we were standing outside your house, and I said, you know, I've been thinking we should just print off a bunch of shirts and hand them out at an NBA game, at the Warriors game, and just force the NBA to broadcast support for Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And so she said it was a great idea, and so I just went straight home and started a GoFundMe. And then we started tweeting that and getting support from the local community, some of the Hong Kong supporters, and just created a little grassroots movement kind of with over 120 volunteers or so.
Yeah.
And just support from all across the globe. We had
the
people
first
from
24
Hong Kong.
hours, it was like crazy.
It was crazy. And then we had people from Hong Kong thanking us constantly for weeks and weeks of supporting and standing up for them.
Yeah.
So it just grew from there.
So you set up the GoFundMe.
Oh, he did.
You set up the GoFundMe.
I just encouraged it.
I sent $50, and then Lee reached out to me, and then we all started talking, and somewhere along the way we said we should document this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not just because it's a cool project, but I think that the entire strategy of shedding light and translating something that's far away. Very few Americans have ever been to Hong Kong. They don't necessarily know the history between mainland China and Hong Kong, but we could sort of illuminate that, because the values that they're fighting for are human values. They're what I would call quintessentially American values. Mm-hmm. And that to me is the strategy, get people to notice.
Yeah. Because I mean, it's not just America to where we should have human rights and free self-determination and freedom from oppressive government. And if we are doing business with an area like Hong Kong, and Hong Kong enjoys special freedom with U.S. trade, a trade relationship, which China, mainland China, depends on, because that's the financial hub. So all these financial transactions go through Hong Kong to go to mainland China, just so they can avoid some of the restrictions on trade. Yeah. So it's absolutely crucial. It's a wonderful place to have this sort of protest against China.
Yeah.